FA Cup this weekend. You haven't got up to third round, I don't think. Difficult draws previously, so an opportunity here to do something new.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the FA Cup. You're quite right. We've had a couple of really tough draws over the last couple of years. Probably, arguably, the toughest you could possibly get with the two informed teams in the country at the time. So I think we learned a lot from them games actually, and they were really good experiences, not just for me but players as well, and playing in this type of game. So it's what the cup throws up. We had obviously a different kind of cup run last year, and had some success in it, and that in itself gives you good emotions and good feelings and excitement. So certainly look forward to this one. It doesn't mean it's an easy game. I don't mean it like that by any stretch. Blackburn are a really good run of form and are a really good team, but it's a new competition, and certainly looking forward to it.
You had a difficult result against Blackburn last time you played them in the league. Came at the end of a good run for you and the start of a good run for them. What have you made of them since, and what makes them difficult to play against? Yeah,
listen, they're a really, really good team. For sure they made it difficult for us. We weren't at our best, but they've had some really good results. John's done a terrific job, and they're right up there with us in and around it. So what Saturday looks like, we'll have to wait and see. What type of team, how they go about it, we'll have to wait and see. It's about us, what we need to get from the game, really, how we can approach the game and put in a good performance.
You've spoken in the past about taking cup competition seriously, and we've seen that with the League Cup runs that you've had. Do you expect to do that this weekend, or considering your position in the league and Blackburn's position in the league, do you think you might both rotate a bit?
I'll definitely take it seriously. Anyway, that's we'll take it seriously. I've got a lot of love for this competition and respect for it, so we'll definitely take it seriously. And it's an important game for the club as well, And listen, we got to make a call on certain players and what it might look for sure. That's only natural, really. And we've got a good squad, and we've rotated through league games at certain times as well. So it's something we'll look at, but it's definitely something we take seriously.
Talk that Isaiah Jones might be leaving the club. Can you tell us anything about that?
Can't really confirm anything, to be honest. There's interest in Izzy, no denying that. There's interest, like that time of year. There's interest in a number of players, but at this stage, I can't confirm anything, to be honest.
If he wasn't available for whatever reason, do you feel like you've got the depth within the squad to cover for that, or do you think you need to dip into the market yourself?
No, I think it's regardless of any individual. I think we feel like we have got a good squad. I've said it many times. It doesn't stop us from trying to improve things and tweak things, and there's always moving parts in some way, shape or form, and that's something we've got to address and judge really as we go along. So we'll have to see how it kind of unfolds over the next couple of weeks.
And would you like to bring players in this month, and how many of so?
No, like I'm saying, it doesn't stop us looking, and we're always trying to improve. I'm largely happy with the group we've got. I think we've shown what we're capable of doing, and we need to do that a little bit more often than we have done. But certainly as a squad, I think we're in good shape. But yeah, for sure, there's no way any club's not looking to try and improve things at this stage.
Thank you.
Hi Michael. Obviously you're clear of that, what can be quite an unforgiving festive period. Is it quite refreshing as a manager to have that shift in focus to the cup, or is it business as usual?
It changes. It does obviously changes a little bit, because with it being a different competition, it doesn't change in terms of preparation and approach to the game and how we do that. Going back to the seriousness and it's another game. We're desperate to win the game, so we'll go about it like we would any other game. For sure, it changes a little bit of the feeling, because coming from a stage where there was a number of games closer together, this has felt like a bit of a longer week, but we've used it what we feel wisely and got the balance right and to prepare us right for the weekend.
And as you said it's a competition that you've got a lot of fondness for. How important do you think it still is? Fixture congestion and stuff is talked about a lot, but what makes the FA Cup still stand out to supporters and to players?
I hope it stands out. I think it should do. I think it's a special competition, and so much has gone on in the competition over so long, and a variety of ways of big highs, big lows, big moments for maybe lower teams or players that a little bit down the leagues, but unbelievable days and memories that's being created, and I think we got it's a kind of responsibility to carry that on. And as I said at the start, I really enjoy the competition. I love it for what it is, for what it can throw up, for the different experiences and challenges that you face. So. I really like it, and I hope everyone approaches it in that same way.
Obviously, you're playing Blackburn, as we said, they're in a similar league position to yourselves, but without it sounding like a cliche, how much does that kind of go out of the window when it's a different competition?
It does to some extent. I think I'm sure. Well, I know from our point of view what we're doing to prepare for the game and what it means to us, and I'm sure it's the same for John and his team. And what the game throws up, we'll have to wait and see. It's as you said, it's proven over time. FA Cup games can throw different things up to what you get every week in the league, even if you're playing against similar teams. So we'll have to wait and see what that brings. But we'll certainly look forward to it and kind of go into the game as we would any other game.
And last question, just on transfers. Another name that's come up is Matthew Hopper. Reports he's left the club. Can you add anything to that? Yeah,
Matthew's left us mutually. I think it's. It was right for both of us, and we wish Matthew all the best. In the end, it didn't quite work for him as he hoped, and with the right intentions, and it's just one of those things. So we wish him all the very best in the next step of his career, and hopefully has a really successful one.
Thanks, Michael.
Just on Izzy, I know nothing's done and you can't say too much, but just maybe the feel that it's the right time for all parties.
Nothing's really done, to be honest, at this stage. Listen, I think it's that type of year where there's a lot of interest, and there's no getting away. There's interest for from what I hear from a number of our players. We've got some good players, so we understand that. Listen, there's always a call of what's right for everyone as well. It's the players are individuals, the club's the club, and we always try to make the right decision for that and for the future. So we'll judge everyone individually.
Obviously, Ben, we talked about at the weekend. How's he been this week? How's he dealing with the uncertainty, the speculation?
Absolutely fine. No problem. No difference. Just gets on with his work as he has from day one, and it suits him here. It's a good place for him to be. He's enjoying his football. He's learning. He's developing. He's having a great experience and different challenges along the way for him. So nothing but positive things to say about Ben.
Would his preference be to stay here for the rest of the season?
Listen, it's difficult to me to answer about somebody else's preferences. To be honest, I think it certainly suits. It suits in many ways. There's no denying, some of it's out of our hands. That's how it is. But I'm pretty calm about it. I'm really calm actually, and content of the situation of how it is. So hopefully it plays out and we're all happy, and we're still getting Ben. I think we're in a good place, and it's a good place for him.
Just a couple of other players who've played on the right for you. First of all, Marcus, where's he at and how was he doing?
Yeah, Marcus is back in the squad on Saturday. He's been training for a number of days now. Obviously, he was out for a few weeks, but yeah, he's back. He's back fit.
And Micah, I mean, he's a kid, isn't he? He's barely played any senior football, so obviously there was always the need to be patient with him. But again, how do you reflect on his season so far? What do you see the rest of the season playing out?
Yeah, I think I'm really excited about Micah. I think he's had a big experience over the last few months of leaving a club he had been at from when he was 6 years old, living at home and then coming up here in a whole different environment is a massive learning curve for him, and he's approached it and attacked it really well with the way he's dealt things. He's got a bright future, we'll be patient with him, but I believe him a lot. I think he's got a lot to offer, and really looking forward to what's next and what comes from him.
Would a loan be a possibility for him, or would you prefer him to be here learning under?
Yeah, I think he's better off with us for sure. I think he's part of what we do, and he's in and around group. He's been part of. He's played some games. He's had good experiences, and he'd be involved Saturday as well. So he's a big part of that.
Thank you.
Just on that, Michael. Obviously, you say you're excited for Michael, but the potential needs to be that kind of patience with him. Do you kind of see him progressing in the right way? And is it maybe just a case of something clicking for him for it to just kind of take off?
Yeah, I think he's not played a lot of senior football, Michael. You know, and he's learning a lot. He's learned a lot, an awful lot over a period of time since he's been here, and yeah, I don't see a big deal or a big drama, and yeah, of course we're always hoping and wishing every single player is at the best form of every day of every game, and sometimes it comes and it goes, and it's a learning curve that you got to kind of you got to absorb and make use of, and I think he's in a really good place, Mike, now to take on what he's learned and kick on to the next level. So we'll give him the time and the environment to be able to do that.
How's he handled it? Because he's a young boy, as you say, coming to a completely new environment, having been at a club like Man City for so many years, and I'm sure he would have had kind of big aspirations coming here. And how's he handled how it's gone so far?
Yeah, he's absolutely fine. I don't think there's a big drama. I think there's yeah, it's probably what I expected, to be honest. I think from the experience he's had, from where he's played and how he's played, to come in here and how what we'd set out and what we hoped for him, it's pretty much how I expected things to have worked out. I don't see any big dramas. I'm really excited to see what he's capable of doing. You know, I've got high hopes of Mike.
Yeah, obviously since coming to Middlesbrough, predominantly being used from the left hand side. We've talked of, is he leaving? Could he potentially be used on the right as well? Is that? He's
played across the whole front lines in the different age groups that he's played. So yeah, he's certainly capable of doing that. It's not out of the question.
Yeah, you mentioned obviously Marcus back in the squad this weekend. How's the other kind of lads looking on the injury front?
Slowly coming back. We might get a call on it really for this week, but Aidan and Luke will be more next week. A little bit further away, and yeah, we'll be a little bit careful with some of them this week.
Yeah, talked a lot about kind of transfers, and obviously is he potentially leaving? I mean, if he were to leave, obviously we've spoken a lot coming into the window about the fact that your squad was full coming in, so that creates a gap. If he were to leave and that gap becomes open, would you feel like you would need a kind of like-for-like replacement, or could you potentially use that to strengthen elsewhere in the squad?
Ifs and buts, to be honest. There's nothing to at this stage. There's nothing to really. There's no one to replace or have to replace. I think it's just a constant balancing act, a constant way of looking at it to see what do we need, what's going to benefit us, certainly in the short term over the next, what it is now, 3.5-4 months, to then what the group looks like moving forward as well. You know, so there's different eyes on it. There's certainly the short term and what do we need here and now, but there's a little bit of having an eye on the future as well.
Yeah, you mentioned obviously interest in plenty of players this month. Manu again is another one, plenty of speculation. And obviously it goes without saying that a player of his ability you'd want to keep from a kind of footballing perspective. Obviously there's the other side of that, the business side and the financial side, not knowing potentially what might come in for him. As we sit here now and based on conversations you've been having with that, are you confident that you can keep Manu at this club this month?
Yeah, listen, it's confident. I'm set in my position. It's as I've said to you before. You never know what's out there, what's going to come, who's going to offer. This is not about Manu. This is about any player. So it's a transfer window, and anyone can offer what they want with a player. And if for me to say confident or not confident, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't affect it. Do you know what I mean? Anything could come. So we're happy with the squad we've got. We want to keep our squad together as much as we can, for sure, and we want to be stronger at the end of January. That's a pretty obvious thing, and I've said a number of times. How confident I am. It doesn't really matter, because we don't know what's out there. Just like where we might be looking at other players and clubs might not know, and then things happen. So you just got to be calm. We got to be clear with what we want it to look like and make good decisions when we need to.
Yeah, I guess the positive on that side, I mean, we saw obviously with the late bid in the summer and everything that's happened since, Manu shows absolutely no signs of kind of letting that impact him on the pitch. He gives his all every time he steps out there.
Every player does, to be honest. Every player's has different situations in their lives, in their families, or whatever it is. futures, anything like that. Every player's been absolutely fantastic. I can't fault any of them for that.
Yeah. Just finally, for me, you've spoken, very warmly about the FA Cup today. I guess given the kind of playing career that you enjoyed and everything you won, it's probably quite surprising that the FA Cup was the last one, wasn't it? It was the one that was kind of missing until quite close to the end. Did that make it even more significant in a way for you?
Yeah, listen, it was an incredible day for me, winning it, and missed out on once or twice before that of good opportunities to maybe win it. But listen, don't take anything for granted, and didn't never assume that it was something that just because it had a level of success that you should win it. But yeah, it was one of the better days for sure, and with my family and my kids old enough to kind of experience it and go through it, was a pretty special day.
So just take quickly on Lord McKay. Obviously he hasn't played much this season, but is he progressing well? Are you seeing signs that he's moving on in the way you'd like?
Yeah, I think he's gone through different periods. Lord, he's played, he's trained with us an awful lot. He's been around with us an awful lot, especially early in the season, training pretty much every day. And he went and played some games. He needed to balance that off with some games, and played quite a bit for the 21s, and certainly back with us, and he'd be backing around it on Saturday for us as well.
A low question there again. Is that something you'd consider with him?
We'll have to see. It's purely what's best for Law, really. So we'll make a call on that. But again, we're pretty calm with that. I think he's doing well. He's improving. He's developing. He's, as I said, he's learning around the group, and sometimes training just day in day out and getting used to that is a big experience and a big learning curve in itself.